A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to this training session for facilitators in ACETEL, African Center of Excellence for Technology Enhanced Learning. We're going to start in just a few minutes, waiting for the director, Professor Grace Joktan, to come in any moment, and then we will start. But meanwhile, I want to welcome all our facilitators far and near across the country. We are happy and we're grateful that you have agreed to help add value to the whole process in facilitating the students in the different courses that they'll be offering in the programs of ACETEL. So we are happy to have you, and we hope we'll have fruitful engagement, deliberations, and we'll resolve challenges together and move the whole process positively forward. I would like to welcome Professor Christine Ofulue, who has been in. Also our program coordinators, Dr. Greg Onwadi and Dr. Juliana Undunago as well. We welcome you, and Dr. Vivian Walcher as well. Mr. Chidi. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Chidi, our admin.
Yes, doctor. Good evening. Good evening.
Okay, good evening. Nice to have you. Just a quick check with the director.
Yeah, let me take a call, please. Let me take a call.
Please. Okay, because our time is very limited, we will start, and I believe the director is going to join us down the line. If you don't mind, Professor Christine Ofulue, could you please help give some few remarks?
Okay, this is a bit impromptu. Good evening, distinguished colleagues. I would like to welcome everyone to this session, first session for facilitation on the ACETEL platform. We would like to thank every one of you for making time out to join in this evening. We know it's a big sacrifice, especially since it was on very short notice. So we really want to appreciate you for this. I'm just standing in brief for the director, who is unavoidably absent because she's engaged in another university related assignment. I believe that you would benefit very greatly from these sessions because they will not only enable you to be able to facilitate online as per ACETEL requirements, but I believe that they would also impact your other assignments in your various institutions, because that has been my own experience. So without taking any much more of our time, I would like to wish us fruitful deliberations and also to thank our facilitators. I think Dr. Lukman Bello, Dr. Adewale, and there was a third, the other third facilitator for also putting this together for ACETEL. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's begin right away. Sorry, I was away just for a brief while. It's raining in my area, so the network is a bit interesting. So today, we will be going through how we can start the facilitation process. The topics we'll cover today is effective online facilitation. Then we have different people that will be taking this. Lecturers log in to their courses. So today, hopefully, we'll ensure that everyone can log in conveniently to their courses. Then we'll look at basic operations like how we can get started with announcements, making sure our profiles are in order for students to get to know us, meet your facilitator, which is an important section. We'll have it done as well. And then we'll also have a look at the learning environment, after which we'll of course have some time to interact, share ideas, as well as answer any question that that may come up. So let me just move on to the slideshow. So I'll start the very first section, which is effective online facilitation. It's going to be a brief and a quick run through. So just to go on, we will have a quick look at, again, just a recap of something that we are familiar with. For the benefit of those that are joining us possibly for the first time, we'll look at a little brief on open and distance, e-learning, online learning process, our roles as facilitator in the ACETEL program, and then effective guidelines for online facilitation. So just as a way of reminder that the major characteristics of ODL, or as it's being called today, ODEL, with e-learning prominent, is that there is no fixed location, no fixed time for learning for students. So students can learn anywhere and at any time, in the house, at work, while traveling, everywhere. And so even lecturers as well, that is trying to deliver the learning, the teaching and learning process, lecturers must be ready as well to engage the students wherever they are. Of course, there is very little or no physical interaction between the teacher, the lecturers, and the students. Okay, and another prominent thing is that the whole process is learner-centered. Okay, so learning materials are designed to meet the learner's need. I would just like to note that many of us were involved in the development of the course materials for these programs. And so the materials have been developed, the course design, course development has been done. Okay, so now is the time for students to engage, and then we'll deliver it based on the design that we have all made. So the learning materials that the students are going to use, it is believed that the teacher has been built in to a reasonable extent into the material. It's supposed to be easy to read and digestible by the student. However, these materials need to be facilitated as well. And that is where we come in. Okay, so again, a short definition of open and distance learning and the massification of education. So I'll go quickly. So again, reiterating, online learning lifts the barrier surrounding location and time, and it also makes collaboration possible. So one of the goals of having the facilitation process is to encourage collaboration among students and with the lecturers. So it's an essential element. Otherwise, everybody go and read, come and do exam will have been the mantra. But no, there should be collaboration, social learning, and also a flow of idea back and forth. Okay. So the good thing about the e-learning being deployed, of course, and as we all get into our portal, we'll see that we'll have great tools that will help us to analyze our learners. So as we get in, as students are expected to log in as well, do assignments, submit assignments, participate in discussion forums, participate in live sessions and things like that. So we as lecturers should be able to see the position of every student, analyze the way they come in, how they go out, how they complete the program, so that enough support can be given to people that are erring or out of, are not performing as much as possible. So there is analysis, deep analysis functionality that will help us to do that. Just a quick brief, a typical face-to-face system is that most of us are familiar with. Engaging with student forms a large chunk of the time, okay? So, and planning and organizing tasks takes a good portion too, and then also offering support. But when we come online, it is reversed, and we're going to see it a little. So, but just to point out something about Malcolm Knowles' andragogical concept, which forms some of the basis of how the facilitation process is built into the system. There are two major assumptions. One, the learner is supposed to be self-directed and autonomous. Thank God we are dealing with postgraduate students, and so many of them are assumed to be well self-directed, adult students, well-motivated students. Then secondly, the role of the facilitator or teacher is to help facilitate the learning, and the student, the learner has a choice of how he wants the learning to progress. Essentially what this is saying is that the concept moves from the idea of a sage on the stage to a guide by the side. So you have a facilitator that is guiding. Our role here is guiding the learning process itself. And then there's this concept of flip instruction. Okay, so in the normal lectures, you have, like the one I showed, there's a lot of time the lecturer engages with the student. But the model, the open and distance learning works, is flipped around. So instead of having all the time with the student spend more time with the materials at their own, on their own. And then they now have hours of interaction with the facilitator. So, and this idea started way back in 2007, when some lecturers discovered that they can record their videos and let the students watch them before coming to class. And when they come to class, they now kind of do assignment, try and walk through problems in the class. So they flip it around. It's no more lecture and then go and do homework. It's rather listen to the lecture at home and then come and do homework in the class. And so that's the concept again that ACETEL and generally we're using in deploying open and distance learning. Students work majorly on their own, but they will have sessions. They come into the class and interact with the facilitator as well as other students. Okay. So of course there are benefits here that I will probably not dwell too much on, but the beauty of it is that the flexibility is added in, and then interactivity is also built in to make sure that people are not lost. Okay. So yes, we've mentioned it before, and I know a lot of us are familiar. For us to engage in this facilitation process, please be prepared with solving the issues of digital access, meaning that our facilitators are expected at least to be able to have a good device to use, as well as internet connection. And the students have been told this as well. And because we'll be facilitating going online, please, we need to ensure, just as we are participating now, we have good audio, microphone that can, or laptops that can beam audio very well. And of course, a webcam or things like that. So the ACETEL office will be there to help if there is any challenge regarding resources that we teach, to teach. So, but in this session, we'll dwell more on the learning management system that will be used. So yes, the learning management system helps us to do all this, make announcements, track assignments, upload our videos, facilitate discussions, track student progress, deliver feedback, and grade our students. So the LMS brings, learning management system brings us lecturers and the students together to make sure that teaching and learning goes on smoothly. Okay. So we're going to come back to this. So just a recap again, what are our roles as facilitators? Okay. One, course material upload. A very good news is that most of the materials for the ACETEL program have been uploaded already. So if you are taking ATI 901, for instance, there is a 90% chance that your class has been set up already. The materials have been uploaded. Okay, so, but you may have additional material that you will want students to go through. So one of the expectations is that you should be able to upload this material. Hello, there's a background noise. Okay, thank you. So the expectation is that we should be able to upload those materials. There are few videos that have been created, instructional videos based on the course design. As we go on facilitating the course, and there is need maybe from the facilitators and to clarify some facts, it is expected that our facilitators too will be able to create videos. And within the platform, you can be able to do that. And of course, many of us know there are tools we can use to do that. And then our PowerPoint presentations, maybe during our facilitation or problem sessions, we make PowerPoint or some notes. We should be able to upload this for students to download, references and things like that, and then post links of previous facilitation session. So a little bit from now, I'll explain the two modes of facilitation. But for every live facilitation that we do, it is expected that the sessions will be recorded. And after the sessions, the live sessions, those links will be posted back so that students that missed it or those that want to review will access those materials. Okay. So, and another important thing, expectation from facilitators is online presence. Okay. So please, it is expected that facilitators will be available online, possibly having like an open office time, okay, where the students can contact the facilitator for a question and answer session, even for chats. Okay, there are 2 facilitators for most of the courses. So the workload should be such that it is not too much on one person. It can be shared effectively amongst the two facilitators. So it is also expected that our facilitators will help with discussion forums, okay, to stimulate social interaction and deep thinking on the concepts that are being presented. Okay, and then of course provide feedback. One of the criticisms that have been heavy on ODL is that there's very little or no feedback given to students. And of course, the ACETEL program is different. It is expected that there should be rich feedback all through the progression of the course. And that is why we have the so-called synchronous and asynchronous sessions. So that takes me to the synchronous session, which is an expectation for every course. Synchronous, of course, as we know, means real time. So in every course, the learners and the instructors, the lecturers, are expected to interact and participate real time. So at least once a week, and 1 hour a week. They have the students have the lecture materials. So the facilitation is just 1 hour per week, having live session in a timetable that has been made and agreed on with the ACETEL admin, the students, as well as the lecturer, a convenient time. We know we are all workers, so there is a tentative timetable that has been made by the admin team. However, based on our experience in Noun, when lecturers meet with students, they can possibly schedule to a constant, to a more proper time, but this must be communicated, and we encourage that the time scheduled should be constant because everybody is busy, and so moving classes indiscriminately can be very, very discouraging. We've seen this very first time. So there's need to have a constant time for meeting that is well publicized so that everybody can work around that schedule rather than deciding on the spur of the moment when to meet. Okay, so so the synchronous section, it happens at a specific time. It will be streamed live, and even guest speakers, webinar, all these tools will go through how we can use them within the platform. Okay, and it's just like the normal face-to-face session we have, but then it's focused, detailed, and to meet specific objectives. Okay, so set out a solid schedule and lay out clear expectations about participation to students. Now, this is one area, again, that we need to emphasize. Students are expected to participate because once it's left at discretion, you will find out that students are not taking advantage of the heavy resource that is made available to them. So participation will be an integral part of even the assessment, like the attendance or responding to some online tasks. We have to be graded as part of expectations from students, and this should be clear. Now, we've made, there was a time we'll say, okay, just come in anytime, whether facilitation is optional, it doesn't matter you come in or not, in the idea of flexibility, and many people lose out based on that thing. So attendance and then engagement online is an essential part to progress. Okay, so again, these are ideas of facilitation I'll just skip over because I've mentioned them at one point or the other. Now you have the asynchronous part of it, okay, which is the learning the student does on their own. So they don't meet real time, okay, and resources and activity accessed on individual basis. So most of the learning by the student will be asynchronous. Asynchronous will just be the 1 hour session and maybe the open office time that the lecturers are available for chats and discussions, okay? So, and indeed, many online courses are sometimes essentially entirely asynchronous. okay? But ours is a blend of both the synchronous and asynchronous part. So there will be things like discussion forums that students will respond to at their own pace, of course, but within also an advertised schedule, okay? So the attempt is, let's maximize flexibility as much as possible. So there are benefits and disadvantages of the asynchronous, but because we are having a blend, so we are kind of limiting the disadvantages. So at the end of the day, we have an online course map like this. So you have a synchronous lecture, perhaps once a week. I mean, actually once a week. Then readings assigned to students, discussion forums students must respond to, when videos are posted and there are assignments to work on. So they can do this asynchronously. Also quizzes. All these are sessions that can be done asynchronously, okay? And then there are synchronous sessions too, like question and answer, when it's expected that the lecturers come on to answer this thing. And there can be asynchronous paper presentation. So you see that you have more asynchronous tasks in the whole online process than synchronous. So all these have been built in, and we need to take cognizance of it. So at the end of the day, you have that the live session you have, it's just perhaps 20% or thereabout. Okay, so ACETEL desires that the program will be highly engaging, not just theoretical, but skill-based and lots of practicals and things like that. So our facilitators are encouraged, okay, to promote higher order thinking, creative thinking, problem solving with the students. So sometimes go beyond just basic lectures, just coming to deliver a lecture and go. Actually, there should be serious engagement with students. Translate passive learning into active learning. Okay, you'll see in the course materials, there are different assessments and different ways you can engage students. Problem-based learning, role-playing, student presentations, content recall activities, think, pair, and share, simulations that we can get, demonstrations, blogs, and wikis. So we're encouraged to bring in engaging stuff. Attrition is a problem. Students starting and not completing a distance learning course. It's a well-known phenomenon. However, it's also known that when students are highly engaged, the attrition rate is less, and students really do complete their studies and make the best of the materials and the learning resources provided. So the challenge is to go the extra mile and deliver these courses to engage students very well. Okay, so discussion forums, we'll talk more about that as we go. It's one of the ways that we must keep the learning going strong within each course. Okay, so I think I'll just be rounding down my session now, more or less. So communication is very important, and the way we approach delivering information is very critical, because from our little experience, because you are not regularly meeting with students as you would in conventional scenario, lots of students easily get lost. Some might travel a week, they will not be there, and then they come back. So communication needs to be real alive. Of course, students, we all have their contacts and their emails, and things will go on regularly. Yeah, but any information needs to be clear. Boundaries need to be established. Expectations need to be made clear. Procedures of how communication and guidelines, etiquettes, and all these things that we are familiar with, we need to bring them to the fore in the process. Okay. So this is just a small sample, and we're going to do that a kind of practical setup in the session where we communicate expectations to students. For instance, in Meet Your Facilitator section. So you can clearly state, okay, Mondays, so time to so time, I will be available for any student that wishes to contact me, your office hour. And then you can use the chat functionality if you want to relate with students that come up at that time. So that's one of the expectations we have. And then of course, we let students know when they can meet us and when we will be available so that the boundaries are set easily. And if students are asking or sending emails, at least an idea of how we will respond. Okay. Okay, so I think I'll stop here so that I will just run a short video, because now we are moving into the next session, which will be a small tour of the online environment that students will be engaging with. Okay. So I'll move on to just a short video. Just permit me to share my screen and share the video on the online learning environment, and we'll take it from there. Okay. Sorry, let me stop and share to make sure I'm sharing with sound. Okay. So this is the learning environment that we'll be working in, and this will be the focus of the remaining part of this training program.
Your learning platform. The URL to access the platform is elearn.nouedu2.net. Once you're in, you will be required to put in your username and your password. Your username will be your matriculation number, which will be provided to you later on. The password will also be made available to you. Once you're set, you click on Login to access the learning platform. Once you log in into the platform for the first time, you will be required to change your password from the default password that was made available to you to a password of your choice. So to do that, you put in the current password, that's a password that has been made available to you, and then the new password will be the password you wish to use to access your learning platform going forward. Once you're done with that, you click on Save Changes. You will receive a success message telling you that your password has been changed. To access your dashboard now, you need to click on Continue. And here you are, welcome to your dashboard. So on this edge here, you have the dashboard where you are already. You have the site home, you have the calendar, you have the private files, and then you have your courses. So once you're on your dashboard and you click on your courses, you will see all the courses that you have registered for displaying right here. So to access them, all you need to do is to either click from here or select from over here where you have the course overview. So now let's access one of the courses and see how it looks like. So I'll be picking here MIS 802. Here is your course page and a couple of other options on the left. So once you scroll down, you see the announcement, you see the Meet Your Facilitator, where you get to know who will be taking you this very course. And then you have the Icebreaker Forum, where you get to introduce yourself and also meet other students that are offering this course alongside you. And then you have the chat, where you will be able to chat with your colleagues and with your facilitator. To access all of these resources, all you have to do is to go over whichever one you wish to access, and then you click on it to be able to participate in whatever that particular resource is requesting or asking you to do. And then we have the introductory video. You can choose to go in to watch, or you can also watch right on this page by clicking on play video. So once you click on that, to load up and it will play. Then you have a section called the online facilitation, where you will have the synchronous facilitation with the facilitator of your course. So to do that, all you just have to do is to click on this Zoom over here, and you will be redirected to your Zoom application, which will enable you to join the live session that is being held at a specific time that will be communicated to you by the facilitator. And then you have two resources here under the course material. This first one is a SCORM package, and this is a PDF format of the course material. So you can open this in a new tab and download the PDF to read later. And you can also open the SCORM package to view your course material online. So let's check out how the SCORM packaged course material looks like. So coming over to this tab, you see a couple of information here, and all you just have to do once you're done reading, click enter, you click play. You can click on this arrow here to make it bigger, click on start, and the material will load up for you. At the top right corner here of this course material, you have this menu here that will take you to the course guide, take you to module 1 down to module 5, take you back to the course home page, and also the end. Back to your course page. There you have the assignments when you're giving an assignment in the class or on the online class that you have attended. You can come over here to submit by clicking on the assignment option over here. You have the mini project, and then you have your portfolio. So you'll be notified by your this forum is a question and answer forum. In order for you to see responses from other students, you have to answer the question that has been posted into the forum. So to do that, you click on forum 1, and that will show you the question, and right under the question you will have a reply button that will enable you to reply this question. And lastly, on your course page, you have your feedback questionnaire where you can give a feedback to the facilitator on the course that you have just taken. Depending on the course that you're taking, there may be slight differences with the course page, but the technique to access any of the resource or the activities posted on this course page is the same. Thank you so much for watching.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's what we actually shared with the students during the orientation, and hopefully it will give us a kind of a broad overview. So right now we're moving into making sure that everyone is able to be on the same page. So my colleague, Dr. Lukman Bello, shortly after I'm done, will take over and help us to see how we can do some things within the system. And of course, we'll continue tomorrow, especially with how to run our live sessions, how to add the recordings for students to access them, how we can set up our own quizzes and our own assessments. So, but before going on now, I would like to ensure that everybody can log in. Okay, so please may I ask if you can show by show of hands or any way, if you have been able to log in to your system. And if you are having challenges, you can also let us know. Okay, I have Dr. or Professor Kingsley. You can unmute and please make your comments.
Okay, good evening, sir. Thank you for your wonderful lecture. It's just so nice coming to the classroom again to be taught things that could help us to make our students' lecturer interaction better. So when we are talking about logging in, is it logging into this Zoom or logging into the e-learning portal?
Yes, I meant logging into the e-learning portal. That portal that I just showed the video on.
Yes.
Where students have been sent their login details.
Yes, I have not. If I have not gotten, if I get, I can log in.
Okay. Please,
yes.
Can we hear from others as well so that we'll sort this out in a minute? Please, Mr. Miracle, can you take note of our participants, especially those that are not, so that we can send them their login and get them up to speed quickly. Okay, all right. So we've noted that, sir. Yeah, please, we are expecting responses from our facilitators connected.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, Professor Lassan, we are with you.
Okay, thank you. I was able to log in successfully yesterday.
Okay. Thank you very much. And were you able to see your courses? Which course was assigned to you?
We have not been given the details of the courses, so we need to know the courses that have been assigned. Maybe they should send it to us so that we can know.
Okay, one of our expectations is that if you can successfully log in, you should see those courses listed under your name. Except
Okay.
There is a challenge, or the admin, the ACETEL admin have not sent in the course for you. So we will have created the profile. We've created the profile for almost everybody. Okay, so but if there is a miscommunication as regards your own course, then we need to know. So our expectation is when you log in, you will see your course, and you'll be a teacher, a lecturer in your course. So you have full control of everything there. Yeah, so you do us a favor by just checking and letting us know. Okay?
It's okay. I will do that and get...
Oh, okay. Okay, yes. Is there anyone that...
Good evening. I was able to log in yesterday, and I was able to change my password as well.
Okay, did you see your courses?
Yes, I did. I saw the courses assigned to me.
I'm glad to hear that. So,
good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening, Professor Amido.
I'm also able to log in this morning.
Okay, good.
Yes, and I was able to see my course, and all the course materials are there.
Okay, I'm happy to hear that.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Hello, sir, Dr. Adewale.
Yes, sir, I'm with you.
Yes, I couldn't log in. It was saying invalid login.
Okay, please, Mr. Miracle and Dr. Bello, take note of Professor Debi Ario. We need to get his login to him this night. So, and know what the challenge is.
Thank you.
So some of us have, we actually sent in 2 emails, some institutional emails and some personal emails. Maybe sometimes you need to check both because sometimes we are not able to attach the 2 emails to an account. It's only one email we could use. And we noticed that problem even some time back when we were doing screening for students. Because some people complain they have not seen, but meanwhile, I think we sent to another email also. But we're going to rectify that, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any other comment? I want to assume that 80% of us are okay.
Hello.
Yes, Professor Chidi, yeah, go on.
Yeah, please, I needed login details, please. And is there a way I can change my email to my personal email rather than institutional email?
Oh, yes. You will need to send us an email to that effect. We can change the email. So, yeah, please take note of Professor Chidi Onoiwu so that we'll solve that problem from him.
Hello. Good evening, everybody.
Yes, Professor NM. Please
Dr. NM, sir. Okay, yeah, I was able to log in yesterday and today, and there was no cost attached to it. So
no
I think something has to be done. Yes. No,
are you in AI or in cybersecurity or MIS?
MIS.
Which is your MIS?
Okay. MIS 8212.
Okay. 812. Okay. We will rectify that. In fact, 2 people are supposed to be ordinarily for each course. All right. Okay. So I want to believe most of us are up. If you are not up, I'll just put in the email address of one of our staff here who has been helping us set it up in ACETEL, Mr. Miracle David is our great engineer. So I'm typing his email address.
Okay, I appreciate that.
So, yeah, so that you can just help send him an email, and then I'll put in that of Dr. Lukman Bello. Okay. So mdavid@noun.edu.ng. So that's Miracle David. So L Bello. Okay.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yeah, this is Dr. Ali Usman Abdullah. I've logged in yesterday and I've seen my course, this one actually.
Oh. Okay, so okay, that's
not a problem at my end. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. I'm happy to hear that. So there are 3 emails I've just typed to everyone. David is the go-to email for the quickest response, and then also Lukman Bello. And the last one, A additional, is my email. Okay, so I assume most of us are up, and those having issues, once you just send to us, we will, of course, take up that.
Hello.
So,
hello.
Yes, Professor Ambrose ACETEL.
Yes, I was able to log in and I saw the course assigned to me.
Okay, glad to hear that. Okay, so I think we're making progress. So now we're going to progress further. Now that we are all logging in, students already have access and they're expecting us to begin to work. Okay, so we need to get familiar with the interface. I know many of us may have used or may not have used a similar interface, but it doesn't matter. Even if you have used a similar one, the way every learning management system is set up, sometimes it's slightly different. You need to navigate, find your way up, or you spend hours and hours, or a lot of time, let me not say hours, a lot of time trying to find your way around. So our expectation is, in this meeting, is we will show, but we will expect you to also try and find your way around. And then we also expect to keep the page structure as simple and organized as possible, so that we don't throw the students away into confusion. Okay. So I want to hand over to my colleague, Dr. Lukman Bello, to just go through the platform and show us a little bit how we can do some things. And I encourage those of us that are able to log in, and if we can get by the side, to try and be working on these things as we go on. And at some point, we will ask one of you that has worked to some extent to please show us what you have been able to do so far. So Dr. Bello, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. And I think my task is just straightforward. thank God that we have access to the page now. We have all most of our login issues resolved. So what we're going to do is to go to the course page, then see the interface, and along the line, let us see how we are going to interact with the interface so that we'll be able to engage our learners effectively when we start facilitation fully. So we have different sections on the course page. You have section for announcements, meet your facilitator. You have section where you can add different resources, as earlier mentioned by my director, and a lot of things can be done here. So I will just share my screen now. Let's go through the page together, and I would just advise that as we go through the page, let us now on our different accounts practicalize and let it be as practical as possible, hands-on, so that I'll be able to follow through as I will be demonstrating from this end. So let me just quickly share my screen. Now, I believe you can all see my screen over there.
Not yet, Dr. Bello.
Not yet. Is it coming up?
Yeah, it is, but not yet.
Okay, I think the network is a bit slow from my own end here. But no problem, it will come up. Sorry, can we see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you. I just want to go to the ACETEL courses. Just pick a course. You just pick any course. Then let's be on the page together and see how we are going to navigate the course page. One good thing about Moodle is that it's very flexible. It's quite flexible and easy to navigate. And the more you interact with the interface, the more you get to know about all these functionalities, and you'll be able to engage your learners effectively as well. Because the main reason or the main rationale for online facilitation in ODL is not actually to teach. Anyway, some people think it's just to come and teach from the beginning to the end of the class. But no, it is basically to interact with your students. And if you don't know how to navigate this course page, it might be a bit difficult for you to interact with the students. So that is why we are trying to put us through this so that we'll be able to be on the same page and engage our students effectively. Let me just pick a course. Let me pick ATI 911, for instance. Let me just pick this one, ATI 911. In your own case, you don't have to go through all this. As soon as you log in, then you see your courses attached to you. You just click on my courses, then you see all the courses. You pick any course you want to facilitate, then you just go straight. But as soon as you click on the course, you just scroll down. When you scroll down, you see this view. Click on view, then it takes you to your course page straight. So the course page is coming up where we're going to see the setup. Okay, good. This is Advanced Machine Learning, that is ATI 911. And this is the course page. This is how it looks like. And this is the arrangements, mostly for everybody, for all the courses. There might be one or two differences, but basically you follow the same procedure to navigate the content. Now, the first thing you do here, when you come to your course page, you see your announcements, basic, all those frames that we have added for you. You don't need to add anything. The frames are there for you. you see announcements, you see meet your facilitator, you see icebreaker, you see chat, and some other things like that. Then you see the introductory video. This introductory video, your student can easily come here to click on it, then watch the introductory video. The videos are there already. Now, for the online facilitation, I think tomorrow we are going to put us through how we are going to set up our Zoom classes here. This is where you set up your Zoom classes. When you click on this, it takes you to where you will set up your class and inform students accordingly that a class will be coming up at so time. Then you have your course material here as it was shown to us in the video for students. The same thing here. At your own end, as facilitators, you have all this. Then you have the course instructional package here, and you have the course material in PDF format. You have the assignments and some other things like that. And the second section, you have the discussion forum. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, by tomorrow we are going to take us through this discussion forum because it's a very critical component of online facilitation. We need to know how to structure our questions, our posts, and how to guide our students accordingly, because students are coming into the learning environment with a lot of misconceptions. And unlike the face-to-face classroom instruction where you can easily change this thing, it's a bit difficult when it comes to online facilitation. So we need to know how to guide students through discussion forum with their responses and guide them accordingly to learn in this area. But the first thing you need to do, if you want to add anything on this platform, as many of us know, is I know many of us must have used this platform at one time or the other, but just to remind us or put us through again, the first thing you do is that you enable this button, you turn on editing, you turn editing on. If you don't turn editing on, you cannot add anything on this page. That's the first thing. And if you need to put some things on announcement, as my director said the other time, you might need to tell students that, okay, from so hour to so hour, you can contact me. You put the hour there. That can easily come under announcements. You tell your students from so time to so time, contact me, let's discuss this. Or you have them to submit an assignment at a particular time, you put it on announcement. When they come to the announcement and click on the announcement button, it takes them to the content where they will see what you put there. But how do you do that? Now, this is how you do it. You click on this button, this icon, this pencil-like icon, just click on it to turn editing on. It's just a single click like this, and the editing will be turned on. And when editing is turned on, it means that you want to edit the content. You want to add some things into the content, or you want to put some resources there. And you can see that the editing is turned on now. How do you know that? When you see this, all these frames now, all these elements, you will see the pencil-like icon in front of them. Everything, you see announcements, you see meet your facilitator, you see this pencil-like icon, meaning that you've turned editing on, you've notified the system that you want to alter some things there, you want to edit some things there. Okay? So, assuming you want to put something on announcement, for instance, maybe you want your student to submit a particular assignment at a particular time, okay? You can just come here after turning editing on, then you come to this edit button. In front of all the frames, all the elements you have here, in front of it you have the edit button there. And you can click on this edit button. When you click on edit button, there is a drop down. You just go to edit settings. You go to edit settings. Are we following? Hello?
We are with you, Dr. Luke.
Yeah, we are following. Great,
okay, thank you.
We are following you.
I just wanted to be sure that I'm not just going without anybody following what I'm doing.
We are listening.
So, all right, sir. Thank you, sir. So you just click on this edit button and it gives you different options, okay? Where you can delete the frame from here. If you don't want this frame again, you can delete it. But here, this time around, we want to edit the content. We want to put something there. You might need to delete the content or add the content there. just click on this edit setting. When you click on the edit setting, it takes you to the page where you can put your content. It depends on what you want to put. It might be announcements, it might even be changing the timetable. You know, along the line, if you have a very cogent reason to change.
To self-learn and be autonomous.
Hello? Is anyone talking to me? Okay.
Noisy background noise.
Okay. At a point in time, for any cogent reason, you might need to change your timetable, although it's not advisable when facilitation begins. You make it, you stay with your timetable, but maybe there are some cogent reasons why you might need to alter the timetable. You quickly come to announcements, put it there, let your students see before the class. So that students don't just come online without meeting the facilitator. You know, my director said the other time that the facilitator's presence is critical. When they come today, they don't see you. They come the next week, they don't see you. They get easily frustrated, and you might not be able to engage them with the content again. Remember, we are interacting with students who are separated physically from us in terms of times and distance. So we need to be consistent the way we treat them. So if you need to do anything, you can quickly come to announcement, and put the information there. And when your students come online, students can easily click on this as announcement and see the information. So the page is here now. You can see announcement, okay? That is the forum name. Now, you can just put anything you want to put here, okay? You might even remind them. You might even remind your students. Maybe you have asked them to do a particular task or carry out a particular thing. You can be reminded that so just anything you want them to do, okay, should be submitted before the next class, okay? Or it might be a change of timetable, or as I said, or it might be anything, any information that you think they should get to know before the class, or that will aid them in doing a particular task you've given them. Maybe you've given them a particular project to execute, or you've given them an assignment that will involve collaborating and some other things. Any information you want to put, you just put here. When you put here, you just scroll down. Okay. In most cases, we don't advise that you click this button. This button display description on the first page, because if you have a lengthy announcement, okay, if you click on this button, it will put it on the first page, and the first page will just look so wordy and not organized. So just leave everything, just leave this one unchecked like this. Let your student click on the announcement, for instance, get to that page and read what you have put there. So after that, you just scroll down, okay? In most cases, you don't touch all these other things, but I would, when we get to the discussion forum and quizzes and some other things, we are going to put us through on how to use all this restrict access, availability, and some other things like that. So as soon as you put your announcement there, just scroll down, then you click on save and return to course. If you still want to do some other editing on the page. But if you are done editing the page, if that's the only thing you want to do, you just click on save and display. So assuming I want to still go back to meet your facilitator, I can just click on save and return to course, meaning that I still want to do some editing on that page. Then it takes me back to the course page. It's quite flexible. The Moodle platform tries to replicate as close as possible the situation in the conventional teaching learning classroom, okay, the face-to-face classroom instruction. So everything, almost everything that you can do in the conventional classroom instruction can be replicated online, especially on this kind of learning management system. The same thing, the same way you have done for announcements can be done for all other frames. For instance, meet your facilitator. Let's quickly do this. I want to clear some things here. Let's do this. assuming you want to put meet your facilitator, this one has to do with the description of yourself, your personality, your profile, okay? Just your profile. Because it's important that your students get to know you, apart from watching your introductory video and some other things. They still want to know more about you, know your qualification, know your research interests, know your, you can even put your behavior, anything that might that will explain your profile a bit better than even the instructional, the introductory video that you put in the first instance. So you put everything here. Although we advise that it should not be as lengthy as some other people will make it a full page. The student will even have to struggle before getting the content or the profile of the facilitator. But just make it very brief and tell your students basic things about you or basic things they need to know about you. And the same thing as you have done for announcements, you just come here, come to edit setting, click on edit and click on edit setting. Then it takes you to that page where you can put your profile information there. And I learned that some courses have more than one facilitator. Some courses have 2 facilitators to teach a course, and it's expected that the 2 facilitators are handling this ATI 911, for instance. The 2 facilitators should put their profile here. Okay. The first person might start, okay, I'm Professor so Adewale. I hold a PhD in so, and my research interest is this. I like this, I want you to just a brief profile about yourself. Then you tell the students that the course will be facilitated by 2 people, I and my partner. So you just tell them the name of the second person, then the second profile comes up. You put the second profile there as well. It's just as simple as that. Then you can see, you can, hello, I am. We put something like this there. You can just easily click, clear this one. Then you put your content there. Describe a description of yourself. Just describe yourself as, just use concise words. Just go straight to the point and give them basic information about yourself. If there are 2 lecturers handling this course, give basic information about the 2 lecturers. Then you are done. After that, you just scroll down the same way you have done for the first one. Then you don't touch all these restrict access or other things because all these are there for the entire semester. Okay, it's not something like quiz or discussion forum that you want to restrict access. You leave all this. These are fundamental information about yourself that will be available throughout the course. So you just leave all this, just scroll down, then you click on save and return to course, meaning that you still want to do some other things on the course page. Are we together, sir, or Mars?
Yeah.
Yes, fine.
Yes, just go ahead. Go on, please.
Thank you, sir. All right. So anytime you want to, you want to go back to the course page, just click on this course, just this course title ATI 911. You just click on it, takes you straight to this course page, anywhere you are. So that's it. The icebreaker, the same thing you do for meet your facilitator, you do for icebreaker. Icebreaker is just something you use to jumpstart the discussion in the classroom, to bring your students into the teaching learning environment. Let them know they are in teaching learning environment. You might even ask them to introduce themselves. It could be as simple as that. You might tell them very short, and create a very short scenario. Can you imagine so? If so happens, what do you think? Just to stimulate them, just to prepare their mind that they are in the teaching learning environment, because many of them are not used to this kind of teaching learning arrangements. Many of them are coming from conventional universities, so they are not used to this. Tell them, let them be aware of the opportunities here, and they are in the learning environment that will involve learning through technology like this. You might just post some questions, and you might just even ask them, can you just introduce yourself? Let us get to know about ourselves. That might just be your icebreaker. And the same thing you do, okay? The same thing you do, and as you have done for online, meet your facilitator and announcements, you do here as well. Just click on this edit button, go to edit setting, then go to that box where you will type whatever you want them to know or whatever you want them to do. Just type there, then scroll down, save. Make sure after typing this, after putting your content, make sure you scroll down and save. If you don't save the content, it will not be reflected on the page. So the same thing, your students have all this, okay? The charts, I don't know, maybe when we are discussing this facilitation, we might, chart is also a very good, an important tool for engagements, especially for asynchronous, or even it can also be used for synchronous engagement as well, where you can just type some questions there, then allow students to discuss. They just chat the same way we chat on our social media. You see the thread of the chats. It's a very good way of engaging our learners as well. The introductory video is here, okay? And it's here already. You don't need to even do anything. Your student will just come here, click on the introductory video, then watch the introductory video. The essence is just to welcome them to the class, tell them about the course and what they stand to gain and how the course will be delivered and some other things like that. So the online facilitation, this is also a critical component of your page, of your course page. This is even where this the main thing lies when it comes to the issue of synchronous facilitation, the synchronous session, because this is where you use Zoom to engage your learners real time. Okay, so you come here, you set your discussion, you set your Zoom meeting with your students. It generates link for you. The link will now be sent to the students, and they can use the link for to join the class. Or alternatively, they can come to this course page, click on this Zoom meeting at their own end, and the students' end, they will still have this. They click here, it takes them to the Zoom class where you can engage them in the synchronous session. I think tomorrow we are going to dwell more on the online facilitation and how to use Zoom. The course material is here, the package is here, the PDF format is here, okay? The assignment, everything you have here. Now, the other section, which is discussion forum section, that I said is very, I think by tomorrow we'll still talk more about discussion forum because it's very critical. Then we need to walk you through how you are going to set your discussion forum post and how you are going to weave the content as well. Because when your students are coming online to make their submission on a particular post, you need to be coming online at an interval, see the thread of discussion, and weave their content, weave their discussion as well. Because students are coming to the class with a lot of misconception. And the essence of your coming online to weave the content is to guide them appropriately and clear misconception as well. So tomorrow, God willing, we are going to do this. I think that this is almost the last part here. And that is how you are going to navigate the content basically and add some other basic things you need to add. And tomorrow, I don't know if there is a time, we still have time now because we need to be put through on how we can add our resources as well, as my director mentioned the other time, because you can, these things are not, they are there, we've put a lot of resources here, but you can still add so many things. You can still add your PowerPoint presentation, for instance, after the class. You might maybe you still have additional resources that you want to add. You can do everything, almost everything here. When you come to this hard resources and activity, you can add PDF, you can add videos, you can add your PowerPoints, anything you want to add, you can add here. But I think by tomorrow we are going to do that as well. Our time is almost 9:20 now. So let me just stop sharing, and I don't know if I have to go through any other thing, sir. My director, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lukman Bello, for that wonderful presentation. I think you have just given us the overview we needed. And so we will, I think, stop from there, take a few comments, resolve one or two problems, and then we'll meet again tomorrow. I'm happy that most of us here are in the technology area, so getting familiar and getting up to speed with all these processes, I believe, will not take a lot of time. Let me just spend 1 minute to explain one of our expectations before we meet tomorrow. Let me get to my screen. Just a second. Where is? Okay, I'm trying to share my screen. I believe it will come up shortly, or it's already up.
It's here already.
So, okay, thank you. As Dr. Bello explained earlier on, in our courses, we have the course material in an e-learning format that is meant to take students bit by bit through the course. And it tries to tell them where they are, what percentage they have completed, and things like that. So if you come to the course and click on this, for instance, MIS 906, or you download the PDF, whatever, we put the two versions there, and we'd like to see how students respond in them. So when you go into the course, we want you to please, before tomorrow, quickly go around, go through the content of the course and get familiar with them. Because there are assignments, there are tutorials, there are expectations that you can find on the course guide that tells you maybe projects to be submitted and things like that, so that we will be clear and communicate this to students right from the beginning. And if there are assessments for them to do and for us to start planning it, we should begin to know what they are. I'm trying to get the course guide for a particular course. And so each course has a course guide that tells you what is expected, the competencies they should get, and things of that nature. So please, before tomorrow, let's go through them and get very familiar. And then one of the things we will do is to begin to write down what we'll communicate to students as regards the expectations we have for them. See, for instance, this is how this course looks like, okay? And it's already telling you that synchronous facilitation will be 1 hour per week. And so hopefully we'll be able to get up to 13 hours, okay? And these are some expectations we have for asynchronous facilitation. So there will be assignments, mini project, laboratory practicals, and portfolios. These have been communicated, at least they are in the course guide. Okay, please go through the material and identify the assignments that are there as stipulated in the course guide, and then and see how you can come in as well. And look at projected scores. Okay, so unless we go through these things very well, we will not know how we'll deliver this course and how we will schedule the activities of the course so that we cover it before the end of the semester and before final examinations. And for some, there will be lab practicals and things like that. So if there is need for any equipment, or if there is need for any resource for your course, this is a very good time so that we will relate with the admin and with the ACETEL program leaders and course coordinators to make sure that all those things are in place. So, and things about the examination and facilitation, please go through this, go through the course essentially. And sometimes you discover that you may need to get supplementary materials as well. They have the materials, but you may have supplementary one. Please, because before you know it, time has gone. Let's start putting them together. I just felt I need to mention that. And before I yield the floor for us to ask if we have questions, I think Mr. Miracle has some comments regarding some people that have not been successful in logging in. I don't know if you can quickly address that, Mr. Miracle, if you are up.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Good evening, sirs and ma'ams. I'm just going to quickly share my screen to give us an idea on how our usernames and our passwords look like. So I believe we are seeing this. So basically what was done was that if your email that you sent to ACETEL is at something like davidmiracle@gmail.com, what was done is that your username is just the David Miracle before the @gmail.com. So that will be your username, but your password is this, Facilitator 001 with F in capital. So for those who we didn't get their emails, there was a dummy email that was created. So I'm going to quickly list names of those whose email we didn't get, and we had to do a makeshift username and password for them. So please, once I mention the name, please can you please send me a mail so that I can get your correct email and then have it created the way others have it. So I'm just going to run down the list here. Professor Friday Wada, and then Professor Julius Okeshola, Dr. Grace Oletu, Professor Adesina Sodia, Dr. Sahid Kayode, Dr. Ayodele Oyelede. Sorry, I'm not sure I got that. Dr. Abori Sade, I didn't get the full name for this, so that was why this was duplicated. Dr. Mohamed Aminu Ahmad, Dr. Aderunke Thompson, Dr. Uyinomen Ekong, Dr. Ibrahim Alhaji Lawal, Dr. Chidi Ono, Dr. Chidi, Professor Richard Boateng, Professor Rexford, Professor John Effa, Professor Afolayan Obiniyi, Professor Rashid Jimo, Dr. Abubakar Dahiru, Dr. Samuel Uturu, Professor Ayo Adebi.
There's quite a number, so
yes, sir.
I think you can stop from there. We all get the picture, so they will contact us, and we will correct what needs to be correct. And the ACETEL admin too can help us those that they can quickly retrieve. Okay, so please, we're coming to a close. In case anyone has a quick comment to make or a question, please, this is the time to do it.
Good evening. My name is Mohamed Bello. So earlier this week, after the first meeting we had, a Word document was sent, ACETEL learning techniques and assessment rubrics, with stating like the different modes of assessment and the percentages, but I noticed that it differs from what we have in the course guide. So I just wanted to ask which one supersedes the other so we don't get the wrong information across to students. Thank you.
Okay, a good question there. I think I'll yield to the program coordinators. Okay, the last meeting that was distributed, I'm not very sure I received that information. Please, Dr. Vivian, are you on? And can you just clarify the differences that there may be between what we have in the course guide and what was sent in the last meeting?
Very good evening to everyone, and thank you, DLCMS team, for the wonderful presentation. Dr. Bilkisu, the guide that was sent within the week, if there are variances with what we have originally, I think we'll have to reconcile. Because I think we already have the information on the course, on the courses already with them. So I think the ACETEL team will check and reconcile the variants so that we don't have disparity between what the students have and what the facilitators have.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So the expectation is that they should be the same.
Yes, I want to send apologies from the director who is unavoidably absent because she's actually currently somewhere.
Okay, thank you very much.
She sends her apologies. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So the expectations are that they should be the same or very close. But in the event that there are differences, we'll try and resolve that. And then if there are major ones, then that has to be communicated either in the announcements or to the students directly. Okay. So, we've sent your chat message. Dr. Mikhail Olani, he noticed that there's a mix up with his email with another person. So we'll take note of that. Miracle do. And he has also put his email there. All right. Dr. Mrs. Eben, are you on? Are you talking? Okay, I believe no. So I think.
Hello? Hello?
Yes. Hello, Prof.
Yes. I have a little question addressed to Dr. Bello. In his presentation, he made mention of adding anything the facilitator want to add. You know, anything you want to add that we can put there. Basic things, resources, and all of that. I think he also mentioned something about the introductory video. So I just want to find out whether it's the responsibility of the facilitator to create the video content and then go ahead to upload, or is it from the center that will be done whether you want to maintain a standard in terms of the video format and all of that, or is it the facilitator that will put the introductory video? Because I think that has to do with introductory video of the resource person, the facilitators. So that will be involved in facilitating the course. So I just want clarification on that in terms of the introductory video. Thanks.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Prof. Dr. Bello, do you want to quickly respond? And then I'll also add my thoughts there.
I think it's the responsibility of the facilitator to come up with the introductory video, which explains what the course is all about and what students stand to gain, how the course will be delivered. And I can see from some of the courses, the introductory videos are already there. Okay, so it's the responsibility of the facilitator to do that.
Okay. Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Bello. And exactly as you have said is it. But I'll just also note that when the courses were developed, there were attempts to have voice artists or people to just come up with something lively, an introductory video, because then facilitators had not been selected. So in fact, most of the videos have one form of introduction or the other. And these were done just to add some interactivity, some flavor into the course. So, and when you get into the course, you will see, if you feel as the facilitator of the course, it's not up to par, of course you can improve on it. So, but already you have introductory video set, and the people that worked on it try to add a little bit of professionalism. Now, it's a bit late for that. Part of the training which we are doing, or which we are supposed to do, is to train our facilitators to create instructional videos according to the NOUN standard. Okay, so within the courses, there are some videos already, instructional videos explaining some concept. The writers of the courses felt, based on the course design, that some videos were critical. And you will see when you go through the course that some have 1 or 2 videos already in it. That was done from the course writer's perspective, following the course design. Now we are in the delivery aspect. So that's why I said it's important we go through and see what resource we have and what supplements can be added. Now, if there are other things to be added, it's the responsibility of the facilitator to help create them the best way they can. And of course, relating with those of us in the headquarters who will assist you to create them. But let's even assume you don't feel there's need to create anything, that what is there for now is sufficient. At least to start with, we believe that the facilitator will not be lost, and the student will not also be lost of content if they want to start tomorrow. That is why much has been done to create everything as much as it is. So now that facilitators have been identified, the responsibility of the facilitator is to look at the course guide, look at the course content, look at the objectives, and see how far it has been delivered, and where there is need to get extra resources that the facilitator can work on it, whether it's video, whether it's your PowerPoint presentations and all that. And please let me just also explain that from our own perspective in NOUN, we distinguish between the instructional videos and the facilitation session, the live synchronous facilitation session. So the instructional videos are videos that you load beforehand that people can watch, okay, and have them ready. And some courses already have instructional videos where it's necessary. But the facilitation session are the live interactions the lecturers had, as we've heard today, with the students, and that is recorded. It's also a video that we made available to them, but they are interactive sessions, problem and answer sessions, and in fact, information sessions as well. Because even in the facilitation session, the lecturer can come in to deliver concepts. However, interaction is the primary focus in those sessions. So you still have videos of those sessions available for people that missed it. So let's distinguish between them. The facilitation live sessions are there. The instructional videos are there. For now, if the content of your course is sufficient, then that's fine. You may not need to bother about any instructional video added. But if you feel that there are concepts that you need to create videos to explain, by all means, please go ahead. And if you need assistance, relate with us in the headquarters. We'll see how we can assist you to do that. I hope that clarifies this issue a bit.
Yes, yes.
All right. So I would like to hand over to the Deputy Director, Esther, to give the closing remarks so that we don't go beyond, much beyond the stipulated time. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Director of DLCMS and the team. And I want to also appreciate all the esteemed facilitators who have diligently been very active on this platform and been able to make it an interactive session and a lively one. As we go on, we'll get to clarify. Like I said, I'm conveying the apologies of the director who is unavoidably absent, because simultaneously there's also an activity even going on now in another place for exams. So she has asked me to convey her apologies, but she'll be with us hopefully tomorrow. And then some of these issues, I thank the DLCMS team for being prompt in responding to all the maybe nitty-gritty in terms of the login details and all. So I want to appreciate us, and in order not to extend our time, plead with us to also be as active and even more as the director has said, the DLCMS director, to go in and already start having a feel of the courses so that it will be easy for us to maneuver and be able to deliver. Thank you once again.
Okay, thank you very much. So see you tomorrow, and we'll continue. Somebody asked for manual. We're working on something. All right, good night, God bless.